Oh yeah, you can get MRSA. MRSA is a very horrible thing. Oh, this is already going. Dang it. I didn't think I had this already going. It's already going. Okay, it's already going, you guys. So, I'm not sure if this is actually going to be a video that I'm going to show in real life, but I'm just trying something. I'm just checking to see if... I don't want you to see too much of my mess. But I'm going to put a hat on here, on this loom. I'm going to start a hat. See this here ball of yarn? This is all my scraps. This is scraps. So like when I make a hat, I've always got scraps left over. When I take it off the loom, I've always got like about a foot of each color. And like I'm going to be using 2 strands on this loom. So I got this one of orange, and then I've got this one of unicorn, rainbow, whatever. And but I'm using them 2 together. So I'm going to show you how I do this. Now, I don't know if I do this the right way, but I'm going to show you how I do it. So what I do is I make a slip knot and put that right here on this peg. When you have a loom, you got a peg on the side. See, and I just put that on there with that slip knot. Now, then to get started, they just tell you to do, some call it a C wrap, some call it an E wrap. But what you're doing is you're just wrapping. You're going to wrap around each peg like this. Wrap, wrap. Now see, now if you go the wrong way, then you'll know you went the wrong way if you see 2 strands of yarn on the one side. So you go the E wrap like this, and so you only see 1, and then you're underneath, and you only see 1, well, 2 strands if you're using 2 pieces of yarn. Now when I use heavy yarn, bulky yarn, then I only use one strand of yarn. But this is regular yarn, and so what I call regular, kind of yarn. Well, this orange one is regular yarn. This one is a mixture. But I'm going to make this hat, and we're going to see what it looks like when it's done. Because I think maybe I'll get it done by Christmas and give it to Papa for his Christmas present. You never know. So I'm going all the way around. I'll give him a old scruffy hat. Okay, I'm going all the way around. Now, I got it all the way around. You know what I'm going to do with this one? I'm going to just do the regular knit. Sometimes I'll put a band on it where I go knit, knit, purl, purl, knit, knit, purl, purl. And that keeps it from rolling because these are only 1 layer. But this one, I'm going to do it just, it's all going to be the knit stitch. So now I'm going to go around. I went around once. I'm going to go around again. And I'm just doing the wrap all the way around again. They call that the E-wrap. E-wrapping, E-wrapping. Well, see, my first piece of scrap yarn looks like it's pretty much a long piece because it's kind of whitish and it's going around. E-wrapping, E-wrapping. I'm in my lazy chair again. This is what I do when I'm in my lazy chair. I did sew another square or 2 on my quilt, and then I said, oh, I'll play with yarn for a minute. Okay, now I've went all the way around twice on there. That's the only time you're going to go around twice, is that beginning one. And then you have a hook. This is the hook. It's just a bent hook. It's not like a hook on a crochet or nothing. It's just a bent hook. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go all the way around. I'm going to take that bottom loop and flip it over. Take it and put it over the peg. See there? Bottom loop, go over the peg. And I'm going the opposite way than I did here because it kind of locks that thread in good. You can go either way though. But you're taking the bottom loop, go over the peg, leaving that second row on there. And this is a real simple thing to do once you get it. Now see, you can do different stitches on here with you know, there's different kind of stitches you can do on these looms as well, but I'm just doing just the regular knit stitch right here. And maybe I'll maybe I'll show you how I do the knit purl stitch too on a later video, but I'm just showing you how I do this one right here. See, so I'm going all the way around, and I'll just keep on going. Now this is kind of an adult size hat. I think it's got 36 pegs on it. I don't know. Not sure. Not real sure. I finished my first batch of hats that I gave. I've already gave them to my daughter. She delivered them to where they were going to go to be handed out to the homeless, and they're already being handed out. Let me see here. I want to just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. 36 pegs on this one. 36 pegs. Okay, now I knitted each one of them stitch all the way around. So now I'm just going to go around again. And I always start right here. This is where the little peg is, your holding peg, whatever. Then I always start right there with my next stitch. And my first stitch is going to go right there. And now I'm going around again. I'm going around again. I'm going to go all the way around, so then you'll see that there's two sets of string of yarn on each peg. Oh, now I'm getting onto a tied piece there. I even left, when I tied them, not on all of them, but because I just started to where I'm leaving even the threads where when I tie them, I just tie it in a square knot, and I just leave that there because I want to just see how that's going to look. Okay, see, I went all the way around, and then I kind of just hold that with my thumb right there. I just kind of hold until I get a few of these knit over. There you go. And then you can unhold it. And so, and then again, the bottom, take the bottom stitch, the bottom wrap, and put it over, get it in your hook, put it over the peg. Get it in your hook and put it over the peg. Your bottom stitch, your bottom wrap is what it is. And this is just, this is called the knit stitch. This one is the regular knit stitch. And the purl stitch is a little bit different. Whoops. But I'm not going to do any purls on this one. I'm just going to do knits. And I don't think I'll do the whole hat on this video because doing the whole hat will take me probably a couple hours. I don't know. Depends on if I got to take a break or something. And so, but yes. So everything here in our world is going well. Papa had his he had to go this morning for EKG and some blood work, and I had to go for some blood work. But Papa's going through all of his things that he has to do before he can have his surgery on the 8th to get his brand shiny new knee. And so tomorrow he has to go to the hospital for a MRSA test. They got to make sure he doesn't have the MRSA. So he's got to be up there pretty early, right, Papa?
Yeah, 9:40 something like that.
9:40. And then he goes, then he doesn't have anything next week. And then on Sunday of all days, he's got to go, Sunday the 4th or 5th or whatever, he's got to go for a COVID test. And that he goes up to the hospital for a COVID. But it's on a Sunday that he's got to go for that. And then he'll be all tested out. Where'd my hook go? Oh, there it is. And so here, see, I went around again. And there we go. And now we're going to knit. After you go around one time, you knit. Knit each stitch. Now see if you have like a, school colors or something. Like this is good for, like, if you got school colors, you can, like, if you're blue and gold, well, you use blue and gold. And you make a hat that is for your school colors if you're still in school, or if you have somebody that's in school, like a grandchild or a child or something. Do the school colors, because now you can do this with just one thread, like I say, too, if you've got a heavier thread. But if you have just the regular weight of yarn, which I don't even know what they call it, just regular weight, then you could still do it, but it would be a very loose knit, and which it almost makes it looks kind of lacy, But to make it warm, then use 2 strands of yarn. So, and this is going to be a raggedy hat using all the scraps. I am such a scrap. They don't, come on, Mother didn't name me Scrappin' Lizzie for nothing. Oh, that's right, she didn't do it, I did myself. But see there, now I've done the one around through like 3 times. And so you just keep doing that same thing. Just call that an E-wrap. You just E-wrap around. So the colors are changing because I have so many scraps of yarn just tied together. I want to get myself, they make little yarn bowls. I've been looking at them. One day I'm going to, I think I want to get like 2 of them, because then when I have my yarn in a ball, you can put them in the bowls and they stay in the bowl, and just then they got like a little wedge thing in them to where they just stay right there in the bowl and they don't go rolling all over the floor. But here on the chair, it's fine. I got one on each side of me, sort of. Okay, see, now I went far enough. I can now take this little one off. I can take that off of that peg, off of that guide peg, and just pull it out through the bottom there, and I'll hook it up later. Okay, and so, I'll hook it up. I'll tie it off later. And so, but then I go all the way around, again, and putting the bottom loop over the top loop. So, a lot of health going on, a lot of health hurdles going on in my family. My brother, my brother, who I've told you, he's got the cancer. Well, his colon cancer, he's having chemotherapy and stuff. Well, his colon cancer broke through the actual colon. So he had to go and have some surgery where they removed that bit of cancer, and they removed part of the colon, but he now has a colostomy. And so, which having a colostomy is better than having the cancer. He still has the cancer in his lungs and in his liver and in his spine. His pneumonia has cleared up. He doesn't have the pneumonia anymore. That's cleared up. So now he's left with just the cancer of the liver and the cancer of the lungs and in the spine. So we'll see how that goes, but he still has, keeping a stiff upper lip. He's still doing, he still has, it is what it is. That's his attitude. It is what it is, you know. And just goes on with life, however long that's going to be. See, now I'm wrapping again. And then my son, who lives over in Arizona, he had the COVID. Well, all three of his kids had COVID, and then he had the COVID. Well, the kids are all fine now. They did not have a bad case of the COVID. They just had it mildly. Now, my son has a little bit more health issues. So, he just tested just a little bit ago and retested, and he's testing clear that the COVID is gone. But he's still on his oxygen. He had to go on to some oxygen to help him breathe because he has already got the COPD. But he's got a real good attitude too, and he's said he went to the farm store and bought all the feed for his animals, and he said he didn't bring his oxygen with him when he went to the feed store. But it's interesting how they do over there in Arizona, because they live so far off in the mountains, you know, and there's no place really close to where they are. So once he tested for the COVID, then the health department, they kick in and they keep track every day. They make sure that he's got the oximeter so he can check his oxygen level every day. Blood pressure cuff, make sure he can check his blood pressure every day. Thermometer, of course, to check temperature every day. And then the health department calls on the telephone to get all his stats, you know, all his vital signs. And they, because, you know, he can't go and they can't send nurses out, you know, they could send nurses out, but he lives way out in the boonies. Well, not boonies, you know, in the mountains. They don't have electricity where he lives. They're living off-grid, but he's got generators and solar power. And he's got a little farm, so he's got to take care of his little animals. There we go, wrap again. So he's got a good attitude too. So I'm because of that good attitude. Ooh, look how pretty that one is right there. You know, he's doing well. He's healing up and he's doing well. You know, by, you know, they say those who have got underlying health conditions would probably have more problems, which he's got quite a few underlying health conditions. He's 52. Oh, he'll be 52 on the 8th. Or will he be 53? I don't know. He's born in 68. So whatever that, you know, do the math for me. I don't know how old my kids are. But he's had some stints put in his heart, and he's got some problems with his lungs. He's got some bleeding issues. I mean, he's got some pretty serious issues. But again, your attitude. The attitude, your look over life, you know, if you just worry about your health issues and don't worry about much anything else, well, then you're going to be sicker than a dog. And so it's good to have a good outlook on life, even when your life doesn't look like it should have a good outlook, you know. But he's doing good, so And then his daughter, his oldest daughter, she's going to be 15 on the 10th of December. She just broke her leg. Well, she broke her leg. Actually, it's been already. I don't understand how this is working though, but she broke it in 3 places. But all the bones seem to be in the x-ray kind of lined up good. So in the ER, they put a splint on it. And then they put a splint, which it almost looks like a whole cast, but it's just a splint. And they said follow up with the ortho doctor. So she will do that, but she doesn't have an appointment till Wednesday for that. For the orthopedist doctor. So hopefully the bones are still in line. I guess they have to wait for the swelling to go down or something. But if the bones are still in line, then they'll cast it then. And they'll put a cast on it. But if they've moved, then they have to surgically fix the bone. So we're going on that it should be still fine. Because them too, my son and his oldest daughter, they've already got their plane tickets bought to come here to Florida on the 4th of December. Because my son wants to see his first grandchild, which is here in Spring Hill. And so I'll be so happy to see him and my Renee. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen them in years. And so that'll be nice. So hopefully everything works out well for them so they can travel. And so, okay, I think everybody else is well. Let me see. Everybody else well? I think everybody else is well. I don't think we have any other health problems around here. So that was just my health story for my family. Let's see, I think the rest of my kids are all pretty healthy. The kids are all healthy and happy and squirrely. They're all good. Oh, and then my Jennifer, she's the nurse. She worked last night. She worked 3 nights in a row, so she's off tonight. And but last night at her hospital here in town, we call it her hospital. Yeah, she don't own the hospital, but no COVID patients were there. None at all. And so that is very good news, that there's none at all. And they have a whole floor, and it's a pretty big hospital, but the whole floor is for COVID. They don't put sick people. I mean, they don't put anything on there. I mean, like if somebody's in there to have a knee replacement or something, then they don't put them with the COVID people. But there's no COVID people up there. That is good news. That's very good news. And so in our area anyway, it must be slowing down, and we like that. But now also she said that the nurses were talking last night, or they heard on the news, that Australia is on lockdown because of the COVID over there. So I don't know. We just got to keep praying for the best, I guess. See, now I went around again. So now I'm going to wrap. And see, this is all that it is. You can sit here, watch a movie, or talk with the old hubster, or whatever. Talk to the dogs. Talk to yourself. You know, just sing a few tunes, sing some songs. You can do anything you want. And, but as you can see, this is what I'm doing. I'm just wrapping. They call that the E-wrap. And I'm just wrapping, and there I went again, see? And then that little peg on the side, that keeps you knowing that you're where you need to be. And see here how it's looking. You can see here how it's looking knitted. And so then always the bottom loop over the top loop. And just into the inside, see? Bottom loop. And there's a little, like a little trench in each one of them pegs where your hook just kind of goes right into that trench and then goes right on around. And I think what I'll do is I may go ahead and let this be this part of this video, and then I might go ahead and then get the hat all done until I'm ready to take it off of the loom. And then I'll show you how I take it off of the loom. And which that's not hard either. Now, like I say, I've already made my goal. My goal was to make my hats before Thanksgiving. Well, I had them made by Halloween. And it's already cold, so I said, okay, well, we're going to get them delivered. So I'm going to continue on making the hats. But some of them I make on my loom here. Some of them I make them on my winding loom, which I made a video showing that one. And some of them I just crochet. So because, see, I guess I get bored doing the same thing over and over. That's why everything in my life is just different and scrappy and whatever. So, but see, on here I've got like there's so many colors on here because I use, even if it's a 6-inch piece of yarn, I've got it tied to this ball. They're just tied and tied and tied. And so the one it'll be mostly orange, you know, because my one ball here of yarn. Thank you for winding my yarn, Papa. He winds. He's my wine yonder. Wine yonder? Yarn winder. So, yeah, he's my yarn winder. But I don't always use it in a ball. I've also sometimes just use it right off the skein. But a lot of things, you know, if I redo something, then he's the yarn winder. He'll wind it. So if he takes apart something. Oops, okay. And so, but that's it. That's exactly what you do. The first 2 rounds, you go around twice. And then with the C-wrap. And then you just start this, where the bottom over the top. Bottom over the top. Bottom over the top. Bottom over the top. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. And once I get all the way around, and I have one hoop, and I don't know why one of my hoops does not have that little guide on it. And I don't know why. You know, I don't even know. It might be, and it's just one loom, so it might have been one that I got in a thrift shop haul or something. But having that knob on the side is very helpful. But this is very easy. I mean, some people, they say, well, and I can knit. I know how to knit. But the only thing I know how to knit is a long scarf. A really long scarf. I could make a scarf, wrap around the whole schoolhouse. But that's it. I don't know how to make anything else. But this is knitting. Now, my son said it's cheating, but hey, if cheating works, go ahead. Just don't cheat on your spouse. That's not good. Okay, now, so there, I went around, I don't know, about 6 rows, and it's going to have these scrappy little pieces of yarn just poking out here and there, and that's what I want it to be. I want it to be like that. So I'm going to just call it a day, and I'm just going to stop it right here, and then I'm going to turn, yeah, but then I'm going to be back. I'm going to twiddle I can't twiddle my thumbs. Got arthritis in my thumbs. Got me a cup of coffee right here in my little place. Whoever heard of putting a marshmallow in your coffee? They were there, so I put one in. It's good. That's good coffee. Okay, so I didn't bring a book in here. Didn't bring my music book in here either. So I will just leave it at this for right now, and I'm gonna work on this hat, and then I'm gonna be back. I'm back probably before the day's out. I'm gonna be back to Hi. Oh, now it wants to pull my lamp down, but oh, there's where the thing is. Okay. Yeah. So that's, see, I just have this lamp hanging over me, and the camera is on it. Now it wants to fall down on my face. But anyhow, okay, I'll be back. I ask God to watch over each and every one of you, every step you take, every move you make, and I will see you on the next video. God bless. And here is the over and out.